You need to get your Amazon cancellations under control, and here is exactly how you're going to do it. Let's go.
So what's up, guys? This is 𝗏𝗏𝗥𝗘𝗦, and you have reached the 𝗏𝗏𝗥𝗘𝗏 e-com channel. If you want to learn how to make money online or offline, then you need to be right here. I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller. I'm also an honorably discharged Air Force veteran. Graduated from Penn State and started a career as a software engineer and leveraged that to build my businesses. If you guys have any questions on how to make money, you're going to find all your answers right here, so stay tuned.
All right, guys. So when it comes to drop shipping on Amazon or Shopify or eBay or whatever, you are always going to have cancellations, okay? That's just part of the game. That's just what you have to do. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but that's just what it is. With Amazon, it's a little more intricate than that, because when you have a lot of cancellations on Amazon, or if you cancel a lot of orders, I should say, your order defect rate goes up, which in turn just screws your metrics and then can get you suspended. So you kind of have to mitigate that, so that way your metrics stay, within the guidelines, within this little area that Amazon deems acceptable, and then you don't get suspended. And it's going to be tough depending on your method of selling on Amazon. Now, if you're strictly like an FBA seller, you really don't have to worry about that. Whether you're doing wholesale or private label or even a little, arbitrage, it's not something that you're really going to see more often than not. Now, when it comes to the drop shippers, yeah, doesn't matter which level of drop shipping you're doing, whether it's private label or retail, arbitrage, or wholesale, you're going to have to be careful, because sometimes suppliers get backed up, other times suppliers disappear, sometimes shipments get backed up through UPS or FedEx or whatever, sometimes people aren't home. There's so many different things that happen, and you just kind of have to deal with that, and you kind of have to learn how to mitigate it throughout your selling career. Now, we're going to get into what's acceptable and what isn't when it comes to cancellations and drop shipping and all this crazy stuff, especially on Amazon. Let's do it. All right, guys, so what's an acceptable level for your cancellations? Now, some people will say it's 1%. Well, Amazon says it's definitely less than 1%. Other people will say it's 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 100. For a beginner, I would say try to keep your cancellations under roughly 10%. Now, that's not going to be Amazon standards, it's going to be your standards, okay? You need to keep your cancellations under, that 1% threshold. Just trust me on that when it comes to Amazon. But if you're having your customers cancel, you can kind of get away with having a higher level of cancellations. Cancellations are going to be roughly 10% of the business that you do. If not, not a little bit more than that when you're a beginner, because you don't know what you don't know. Now, as you go along, you want your cancellations and returns to drop down below 5%. Okay, you need to make sure you have good suppliers, you're getting good products, you're doing effective product research, because you do not want to have a really high cancellation and return rate. Right? It's crappy. Okay, you just don't want to have that. 5% or less is generally going to be the guidelines for the majority of us professional dropshippers. Okay, anyone who does this, full time, who's making a living off of it, we generally err for 5% or less. Now, for me, I try to do between 2 to 3%, but it's not always possible, just for the sheer fact that there are just so many items and everything else. Oh, here comes the Mustang. Mustang guys doing Mustang things. But like I said, I'd shoot for 2 to 3%, of the total sales that I do. Now, does it always work? No, it doesn't. Sometimes, I get a bad supplier, just like everyone else, or I just pick a bad product. And people are like, yo, this isn't exactly what was described, blah, blah, blah. You get returns on it. You just kind of have to suck it up, okay? And unfortunately, that's just what happens, right? That's just what happens, and that's what you're going to have to learn how to mitigate. Now, when you're focused on these things, how do you solve that? How do you solve, this issue? How do you go about, making this worthwhile? How do you go about keeping your metrics intact and keeping your account open, keeping it flourishing? Because if your metrics drop on Amazon, your sales also drop as punishment for your metrics getting out of whack, right? So let's talk about it. Yo guys, so what's going on? All right, now how do you mitigate all of this when it comes to cancellations, returns, and things of that nature? So this is going to be the biggest part when it comes to your metrics, right? So metrics on Amazon, first and foremost. You're going to have to ask the customer to cancel. All right, you don't just want to cancel on your own. You don't just want to just nix it if you get a bad supplier and the shipment times falter, whatever, because your ODR is going to spike, it's going to go through the roof, and you're going to end up getting suspended. All right, so that's number one. Number one, you're going to ask the customer to do it. All right, you're going to ask your Amazon customer to do it so that way you don't have to. And if you can't do that, you're going to try to hustle and find a second supplier. You should never be listing products, at least when it comes to certain styles of dropshipping that you can't find a backup supplier for. Even if it costs more money and you're losing, all right, even if you're losing money per sale, as long as it's nothing crazy like $30, you're good. If it's like 50 cents, $1, $2, $3, and you got less than 50 orders, just bite the bullet. Okay, just bite the bullet and get those orders out. Okay, sometimes you just have to suck it up and deal with it. It's not always going to be fun. Right? Sometimes you just gotta suck this shit up and go. You know what I'm saying? All right, yeah, this guy's over here cussing right now. I'm losing my mind. But all right, so first and foremost, make sure that you have your customer cancel on Amazon. Second, make sure that you guys have a backup supplier, and if you don't, just suck it up and take a L. Take a L when it comes to selling those products so you can get them out of there. Okay? And number three, all right, make sure you message your customers and see if they're willing to wait. All right? You're going to have to see if they're willing to wait, because if they're not willing to wait, hey, it is what it is, and then you can handle the first two. But more often than not, if you explain and you're proactive instead of reactive, instead of waiting for them to say something, guess what? They're going to be understanding, and they're not going to hit you with an A to Z claim, or they're going to hit you with a 1-star review or any of that other shit. Okay? You just got to be calm with it. Just say, hey, we're experiencing a few delays. Your product's going to come. And even if you have to give them a partial refund to have them wait, it is much better than your metrics tanking. Okay? And if all else fails, man, you got to go to your supplier and be like, yo, what's happening? Let me know so that way I can hook people up so I can tell my customers what's going on. So you go to your supplier, like, yo, I'm one of your customers. You need to tell me what's going on so I can let my customers know. That's kind of like the big thing right now, man. All right? So, hey, if you guys have any questions, please do reach out. Let me know how I can help you. Drop comments below. Make sure you like this video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe, and then click the little notification bell, man. Check out the links in the description below. Everything, I'm always around. You can hit me up on social. So it is what it is, guys. Now, with that being said, be safe, be smart. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.